Hello, friends. How are you this evening? Welcome to Love and Courage. My name is Cheryl Wright. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Northeastern Montana, and it has been a busy week. This is my third video this week. I did my mystery stamping pattern recipe case number 100 on Tuesday. Last night, I did a catalog tour of the new catalog that just went live yesterday. And tonight, I'm doing a class about the Love and Courage stamp set. So I have a few things to share with you. So I'm going to get my other camera going, and then I'll run through a couple things, and then we're going to hit the ground running because there's lots to do tonight. So let's add my other camera. And let's see here. I'm the only one home tonight, so I should have no problems with my internet. Hello, Nancy. How are you this evening? Beautiful weather there. Yeah, I wouldn't call our weather beautiful. It's been like 40, 50 mile an hour winds all day today. Maybe not that much, but it seems like it. It's been extremely windy today. So, I think it's supposed to be nice this weekend. We're hoping to finish harvest sooner than later. My husband is currently on a parts run, so that's how the day is going so far today. All right. Anyway, my summer shopping spree has ended, and my winner is Deb Williamson. And I made a nice fancy post on Facebook and Instagram about it, but YouTube doesn't allow me to do that as much that I've known so far. So Deb is the winner. She wins $50, and I already transferred it into her Stampin' Up! Rewards account, and it is ready for her to spend right now. The other thing I had going was anyone who placed a $60 order in August would receive one of my favorite embossing folders, and I will get those mailed out next week. I have a couple things just to check out, and then I will. So Tuesday was the original deadline for my Tractor and Company mystery craft box. But I extended it to today because I had way too much fun over the weekend celebrating my birthday. So here is the sneak peeks that everyone else has been seeing. And I have a real sneak peek tonight. So register by tonight, craftwithcheryl.com, or just scan the QR code right here, right there. I was getting low on numbers. I do have a limited number. So I was getting low on numbers, but go there, order it. And, I had an extra sneak peek for you tonight. So let me grab my paper back. Let me grab it. So this sneak peek right here is this card right here. I thought I'd show you a real card tonight. So this is the sneak peek you're getting. Now I don't have any. Thought I had some. The birds, I'm going to put some birds up here too. But it is that slider card that I talked about. So there is a sneak peek. This is one of the 6 projects you will get to make with the mystery craft box using the Tractor and Company stamp set. So details for that are at craftwithcheryl.com. Let me just go ahead and plunk that in there, because everything I talk about tonight, you can find out, you can usually find out more information about it here, and you can find all my registration links, and there, it's a done deal. My shopping links, everything is at that one place. Now I have one more update before we move on. The other night I made this, or last week I made this, and I told you the box was too wide, so I changed the box dimensions and I updated it in the description of the video, but make your box 5 by 3 1/4, your piece of paper. 5 by 3 1/4, and it fits this much nicer. That other one was way too wide. So this was last week's free class. So if you missed it, go back and watch it. All right, back to my pile. Stampin' Cross Country is early bird registration is available, and you can do that at craftwithcheryl.com or scan the QR code and it'll take you to the registration link. That has 5 different demonstrators. It's a weekend event. It's Friday evening and all day Saturday. And there's 5 of us who do 2 different presentations. There's also other things happening during that event. And we will be focusing on here I can show it to you. This is one of our stamp sets. And here is the other. So these are the 2 stamp sets that we are featuring during our event this time. We have some fantastic cards per usual, and it's going to be great. So early bird deadline is the 9th. So next Tuesday, early bird pricing ends and the full price begins. Oh, Nancy this is her review of Stamping Cross Country. It's a wonderful weekend to learn new card folds. Yes, it is. It's a wonderful time. Yes, yes, yes. So, this is what went live yesterday, and this is all this fun stuff. And if you want to see what's more inside, check out my video from last night. All right, now I got to get my stuff organized beside me. So, Love and Courage is in the new catalog. Well, let me grab the new catalog now that I put it away. It is the first stamp set in the new catalog. Every year, Stampin' Up! Does a philanthropic product. Sometimes it's paper, sometimes it's a stamp set. This time it is a stamp set. And it is a $25 stamp set, so it's a very solid stamp set. It can stand on its own very nicely. Anyway, for every stamp set that they sell, $3 will go to breast cancer organizations with each purchase. You can, and it will be whatever country you're in, it will go to that. So fighting cancer is near and dear to my heart. I lost my father to cancer. My uncle is currently fighting cancer. I have a friend who's fighting breast cancer right now. And I myself have had melanoma. So cancer is everywhere. Now, I know they're donating to breast cancer research with this stamp set, but that doesn't mean we have to make everything that's pink, because nowhere on here does it say anything about breast cancer. It says friends don't let friends fight cancer alone. That's pretty much the only place it says cancer. So if you know someone who is fighting cancer and you want to keep it ribbon color appropriate, all you have to do is Google it and it pops up. So these are all the ones that have ribbons designated for them. But the purple one is all cancers. So that's where we're going to start tonight, actually, is with the purple ribbon. Purple, we're going to honor all cancers with our first card. So we're going to start with the Poppy Parade. Did I get that right? Petunia Pop. I knew I said it wrong. See, the minute it came out of my mouth, I knew it was wrong. All right. And we have, this is the largest circle from the Stylish Shapes dies. And it is the one that fits this stamp. It's the only one that fits this stamp in this die set. You can also use the Spotlight on Nature that has a big enough stamp set. You could probably work something out with the Arches stamp set, which would have been cool. I should have done something with that. But here we are. We're doing this. So anyway, I have a lot of two-tone cardstock tonight because I just do. I like it. I like it so much more than I thought I was going to. This is a piece of fresh freesia, and we're going to play with this a little bit more before we move on to the other. So we're going to start off with, this is flower dye. Now the embossing folder. I don't remember the name of it. Isn't that terrible? I should have this all memorized, but I don't. All right. So I was kind of going for more subtle with this one. I want to get it up there so it just hits the top. The rest of it doesn't matter. Okay. So now we need the die cut machine. One thing I don't have done for tonight is the embossing. So I think I have most everything else cut. So this is not a 3D embossing folder. This is just, it's just a regular one. So it gets to go between the two clear plates. Clear. That's funny. My plates haven't been clear for a very long time. Very, very long time. Be sure to say hello, like and comment, share. That was tight. I wonder why. Maybe I have my fold wrong, my sandwich wrong. Nope, that's what it says. It was just pressing well, I guess. I took that middle plate out. Okay, now I know for the rest of them, I am not going to need these plates. I'm going to need the other plate. So I am going to just, I'm setting my plates aside. I'm just going to do it this way. Watch for, listen. Sorry. Okay. It moves around much better anyway that way. Okay. There we have it. And I do have my sandpaper. Sandpaper is awesome. With the two-tone cardstock, it has a white core. And like I said a minute ago, I like it so much better than I thought I was going to. So I'm just lightly brushing over. Mine is an old Stampin' Up one. If you can get so many more. I hope that Stampin' Up comes back out with their own Stampin' Up, with their own block, but I have not heard or seen anything for that yet. So we're just going to go ahead and make sure this is looking right. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and tear. Now when you tear toward yourself if you want the white to show, and tear away if you want the color to show. And I know this is very meticulous here. This one's not so much. There we go. I'm just going to do the top and the bottom maybe. We'll start there. See what we like. And this, since it's been perforated and it's such thin paper, it's going to tear a lot easier. Okay, I'm a liar because it is not tearing easier. It was easier to tear across the top. All right, we're going to do top and bottom tears. The table's being creaky. I'll be glad when harvest is over and I can remember to tell somebody to please fix my table. Hi, Anna. How are you tonight? How is life in Florida? We've already established it's nice in Kansas and windy in northeastern Montana. So I hope you have something good to report as far as weather in your part of the world. All right, come on. Okay. Now we're going to put this on here. And like we said, purple, lavender, it said, was all cancers. And this stamp set could be used for other things. It does not have to be used for cancer, but it will get donations to cancer research for using it. All right. Now I went with a Petunia Pop circle, and we're going to use Petunia Pop ink. Use my reach. And True Confessions time. You'll notice that I have butchered my stamps. Oh, you're not late. You're fine. So I have made this into 2 stamps, and I've made this one into 2 stamps. But we're going to use it as 1 stamp on this card. So we're going to reassemble it. We're going to reassemble it. Do you ever cut your stamps apart? Sometimes you just got to do that because they look better if you do. And you have more options. This does take a larger stamp block. And see, that's what it was supposed to look like when it was all together. I had to trim this off because I was using it and I was getting some halo effect. So there is our stamp. And we're going to ink it up with Petunia Pop. I think I said it correctly that time. I have the dropsies today. All right. Well, I hope this is the right size circle. It should have been the right size circle. Well, we'll find out momentarily, won't we? Yep, it was the right size circle. All right. Like I said, you can't go any smaller than the largest one. The largest one of the stylish shapes. So like I said, we're going to keep this card fairly simple. I'm going to put this one in here. And I have some of this beautiful ribbon. It is from the Spooky Halloween collection, but we're going to use a piece of it for this card. Thought I'd go behind, but that will work. We're going to go kind of at an angle. So this is what I need to do. I need to put some adhesive to anchor my ribbon and the top. I'm going to mark the top. I want it to go to the side though, because I think the top would be too much. All right. So here's my top. I want it to go toward the flower. I want the loop to be toward the flower. So this is where the flower is. So I don't have to flip it over 18 more times. I don't need that much. Now there is a Petunia Pop ribbon also, but I wanted the one that had a little bit of sparkle on it. And then we don't want it going off to the wild blue yonder. Don't want it quite that sideways. There. Okay, that'll work. I did it without getting my ribbon scissors out. And then we're going to add some dimensionals. Pop one on there so it knows to stay. we go. All right, we're going to put this on here. There we go. Trim our ribbon again. Let me know where it's going to fit. And grab some bling. The person that's fighting this cancer is a little blingy. That might be. Maybe the ribbon will be blingy. We're going to use these. The ribbon is the only blingy part on here. There we go. There's card number 1. Like I said, the purple is one that would be supporting all cancers. If you're worried about colors of who you're supporting. And I do have my internal ones ready to go. How about it's okay to not be okay? There's a lot of people out there that don't know that it's okay not to be okay. So, excuse my reach again. This was one of the first stamp sets that I bought, and it's the one I did my swaps with for my friends, my demonstrator friends in Washington, and that's going to be my 3rd card. Is going to be my swap card. So there is that one. That's my simple card. I know. Yeah, I know. Simple is, right? Oh, why my arm's up in the air? I'm going to grab my pecan pie because that's the next color I need. All right. So, because it has a big old sunflower on it, I could not do this set without using the sunflower die or the sunflower embossing folder. So that's the one we're going to use next. There we go. And we're going to use more of the two-tone cardstock because, you know, why not? If you get my newsletter, this is one similar to the one that I had in my newsletter recently. And so this is what we're going to start with, just a card base, standard card base. I need to do some more fun folds. And this is a very narrow margin of pecan pie. It is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. So that's what we have there. Another circle because it goes so well with that stamp set. And a piece of two-tone cardstock. That is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. Let me make sure I got this right. Oh, yeah. It works. Oh, this was 5 3/8, wasn't it? Okay, all is well. All is well. So let's get the embossing machine out again and get this gorgeous sunflower embossing folder. Now, if you're worried about yellow and what color cancer, it could be, depending on what yellow you use, it could be bone cancer. It could be, I saw childhood cancer was claiming yellow, but it could be gold also. You could do this in any color that you want. So, let me see. I'm trying to picture where I'm going to have my circle. Trying to think how I did it before. We'll try that. No two cards will ever be the same, right? I guess you can try to make them the same. My swap cards are all the same that I mail off. So this is a 3D, so you need the extra plate to run it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. There we go. And we'll need these back again. We're going to do one more card with some embossing on it. So as you can see, you don't have to put these in. You just kind of line them up wherever you want them, and then you're off to the races with it. All right, so we're going to do a couple things with this one. We're going to, oh, it's more black. I need my brown because, sunflowers have a brown brown center. Oh. Trying to find the correct. So we're going to do this one because this one we'll show this one. And this one. So not doing a whole lot here. I'm not going to distress it with the sandpaper. I'm just going to let it be. I could go around the edges with some brown ink. And the stamping brush. So every time you do this, you don't have to get the sandpaper out with the two tones. Some of the white cracks will come through, and that's good enough. Sometimes it just does such a nice, clear, sharp image that it just adds some detail. Now, I'm not going to try to get that one because I'm going to cover that with my circle. All right, I think I'm done with that. All right. So we're going to set this aside, and we're going to grab this and this. Oh, I need my Daffodil Delight ink. I forgot to grab it. So when you take your stamp apart, you can use it in different ways. So here is the half of sunflower stamp. Now I have to make sure I remember which way it goes. Where's my card? Oh, there we go. That'll be my guide. So I'm going to stamp. I got a blip. All right, I'm going to stamp. I'm going to put that on the sunflower because nobody will care if there's a little blip in the sunflower. I'm going to stamp this here. All right. So that's the first generation. I'm going to flip it over and line it up. And the second generation is going to be much, much lighter because that's where we're going to put the words. All right. Don't think I need this right now. The words are going to be in pecan pie. I do need this. Before we get there, though, we're going to take a Post-it note and we're going to cover up that lighter one because we want to be able to read the words. And sunflower centers are brown. So we're going to give it a brown center. If it goes out into the petals a little bit, that's okay. All right, now take that off. And we're going to need a block for the words. And we're going to line it up with the edge. And since they were made to go together, they fit very nicely together. And so there is our circle. Isn't that cool? All right. So this one is going to go together rather easily. Like I said, we have a standard card base. This is just it's a smaller border around, but it's there. You just get a sneak peek of the yellow or the Daffodil Delight. Excuse me. I get kind of thirsty doing all the talking. I hope I inspire some of you to get this set because it is so wonderful. It's one of my very favorites. All right. Now, before we put this one on, we're going to take some. My twine is playing. You know what? We might take some darker twine. I have natural linen tones. That doesn't look like. All right, we're just going to take linen thread. You know, when in doubt, use linen thread, right? When in doubt. Let me just check something, though. Oops. Nope, that's not the right one. I need this one. Let me check, because I have all these that I'm thinking of, and I could really use that. If it's pecan pie, I will dig briefly. Early espresso. An old olive. I don't know where they went. Early espresso would work well. But I am not going to find it right now. So, linen thread it is. All right. I tried to use a new product, but it did not work. So I really don't want a bow on this. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back. I could do a ribbon, but I don't really want a bow. So I'm just going to do a wrap. So I'm just going to tack it down and then wrap it around 3 times because, you know, it's an odd number, right? We like odd numbers. A gal that kind of taught me some scrapbooking stuff told me that our eye likes odd numbers. So I always think my eye likes odd numbers now that she's told me my eyes like odd numbers. All right, I'll put this back together. Okay, so we have that, and we can kind of spread those out as we want. A little bit later, we're going to put some dimensionals on this. I'm not going to put any in the middle because that's where I'm going to put this on with some dimensionals. Ah, well, that little bugger doesn't want to come off. And this is kind of a normal border size. And then we're going to go ahead and put this right in the middle. Oh, everybody must be busy this week. We don't have as many of our watchers. That is okay. I'm going to tuck those under until I decide I don't want them over. I think we'll leave it under. All right. Didn't even tuck my card back. Okay. So there is that. I don't know if I'm going to put bling on this one. It has the sunflower. These would work though. Just tuck a bling here and there. Let somebody know that they are shining. Let's do this one here. There's card number 2. We can do the inside. And I might just do hope inside this one. Or maybe we'll do love. No, we'll do hope. I do thank you, but I don't need to send a thank you. And if I don't have anybody to use this card, so we'll do it so it's generic. I do sell my cards, so that's why. There we go. All right, this one's going to go inside. And there's card number 2. All right. My next card and the grand finale. Let me wipe some of these off because I am going to need them. And I don't need to accidentally grab them and have them be pecan pie. There we go. And one more. And right, I think I got it all. My squeaky stamps. Part of me is going to miss the red rubber, but part of me is okay with having the stuff we can see through. This would have been easier if I could see through it. But I'm sure these are okay. Actually, we're not going to use that one again, so we're good. Oh, wait a minute. I did not do this one because we know I used it. I used it on the Daffodil Delight. All right. This stamp set would have been nice to have something like Thinking of You. But I guess in one way, Friends Don't Let Friends Fight Cancer Alone is saying thinking of you, right? Okay, my next one, it features a technique that Sarah had, that Sarah did on her Tuesday video. Do any of you watch Sarah, who is Stampin' Up CEO? She does videos every Tuesday, and this next one uses a technique that she showed us a couple weeks ago. There's a template, and I will get this loaded. It will be in my groups. I'll put it on my next email. How's that? So sign up for my email at craftwithcheryl.com if you're not a part of it, and I will share the template for this. Otherwise, you can find it probably on Sarah Douglas's Facebook page, but this is the template for it. And I'm going to use a piece of two-tone cardstock. This is Strawberry Slush. I am also using, I'm going to leave it on there. You know I love this extra tip. It is the same size as this tip. And it comes with another couple, it's an add-on to the Take Your Pick tool. It has a hooky end. Do you like that name? A hooky end. An end that has a little hook that I've seen people take the backs of dimensionals off with. I'm going to leave that just so you can see it. It also has an X-Acto knife end, and it has this little perforated rotary wheel that makes perforations. This is the one I'm going to use today. So I'm going to put this back without cutting my fingers. Yes, that's an accomplishment some days. And I'm going to put this back because this is one of my favorite ends. I always forget about the hook end. When I looked it up, I was like, oh, I don't know where that hook end is. It was like, well, it's on the other end of my favorite. So the Take Your Pick tool comes with this big chunky end, but I like the smaller end. And then on the other end of this is a little spatula. But these come with the Take Your Pick tool. This is an additional add-on. So it's these two plus the X-Acto knife. All right, now that I've told you that, take a piece of regular Scotch tape or a little glue dot or something, and we're going to put it behind here, and we're going to lay it on here. I'm going to line it up as best we can on the dark side. All right, on the dark side. All right, now you need some kind of mat to come on. The paper piercing mat works fantastically on it. We're going to die cut here. She had it so it was a little bit smaller, but it works. You just, drive off the edge a little. It's fine. So this is just a fun little, it's just fun. So we're going for it because it's fun. Like I said, this is my swap card. So if you haven't seen my swap card yet and you don't want a spoiler alert, close your eyes. All right. If you are a demonstrator, that you know who you are. All right. This one. So you're just going to chew it up to the line. And you're going to do all the lines. It doesn't take that long. I did this for my swaps. So you can tell that I did not take 1.5 years on each swap. You just go to the center line. As soon as I saw Sarah do this, I knew exactly what my swap card was going to be. It's just being stubborn right now. There we go. Okay. And that little vacuum that I always show you is a good thing for this too. It cleans the crud off the mat. Okay. And if you don't hit the lines exactly, that's okay. You can use these a couple times. I used them 3 or 4 times before I got another one out. The template has 2 on it. Like I said, not very hard. I don't know, some are just easier to cut through. I don't know if it's if you catch the blade on the end, if it just goes through faster. You see, I just fly through some, and then others I have to kind of chew on for a minute to get it to go. Ah! That's all right. They're perforated, right? So they don't need to be perfect. There we go. All right. Make sure they're kind of chewed up in the back. All right. And then this just has a little flip, and we're done with that. Put it in a good spot so you don't catch your fingers on it. All right. Now this is done. You can put that aside again. We're going to peel this off gently. Like I said, we just put the tape there to keep it in place while we were running the blade over it. If it pulls a little bit of the center off, it's not a big deal. We're going to cover that. I bet you know what we're going to cover it with. All right. So like I said, you can use this again if you want to. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to tear off some of these. First of all, actually, we're going to tear them all. We're going to open them all up. And like I said, it's just perforated. And I don't know who came up with this idea, but I watched Sarah do it. And I fell in love. She didn't do it with this stamp set, though. She did it with another stamp set. So you want your corners to stay. But then starting there, you're going to rip out every other one. All right. Uh-oh. But you're not supposed to rip out that one. But that's okay. So this one is supposed to stay here. We're going to use a little tear and tape. When in doubt, use the tear and tape. Or any other kind of tape. We'll use tear and tape. So I'm going to flip this over because this is the side that's going to be showing. I'm going to flip it over, line it up as best I can. And is this going to really matter? Nope, it's not. Okay. So there we go. Pretty much good as new. It's kind of a shabby kind of look anyway. All right. So just be gentle. Don't use all your muscles like I did. So that is what you get plus all these pieces. And we're going to use all of it. So we're going to set this aside for a moment. We're going to grab the circles. I don't know. I should have looked at the names of these. folders. You know what? I'm going to cheat for just a second. Talk amongst yourselves, get a drink. Uh-oh. All right, menu, shop products, embossing, dry embossing. All right, let's just be smart. Sunflower 3D embossing folder. The pressed flowers embossing folder was the one I used first. And this one is called Dotted Circles 3D embossing folder. Ta-da! Mystery solved. All right, I'm going to put this one in here. I kind of like this one to be kind of in the center, but not exactly. And I have it so that the dark color is facing up. Now with these, I am going to randomly put them in here, and I'm going the lighter color facing up. And just random. Random. All right. Then when you have it ready, close it up. I have these two overlapping. I'm going to fix that. All right. Now that I have that ready to go, let me grab my embossing machine. And my plates. And I'm going to run it through. I usually store my plates in my embossing folder, but when I'm using a little bit of everything. Uh-oh. Oh, no, that was my tear and tape. It's like, oh no, a piece got to the back, but that's just my tear and tape because I made a mistake and pulled a chunk off that didn't need to be pulled off. All right, it's all good. So this is what we have now. All right. And these are the pieces. We're going to use a piece of 11 by 4 1/4, pretty in pink. And we're going to add this to here. But before we do that, we're going to do a little sanding, because you know me. I like a little sanding on it. You don't have to worry about the center. The center is going to be colored, or it's going to be covered. But just kind of work off, do a little sanding. You can do a piece of scratch paper underneath. It works good. Be careful you're not pulling on anything. You can rough up the edges a little if you want. I should show you what I did. I was doing this on my glass mat. I scratched my glass mat with my sandpaper. I don't know if you can see it or not, but my glass mat's all scratched up now. Oh well. I think I know where I can get another one. So we're also going to take this piece and we're going to sand up. We're going to sand a little bit on the light side because two-tone cardstock has a light and a dark. And just add, we're going to do it. And when Sarah demonstrated this, she used this exact embossing folder. I was going to try to use a different embossing folder, and I thought, nah, I'm just going to stick with what Sarah did. All right. Yeah, I didn't realize it was until I was too late that I had scratched my. I was doing so many of these because I was doing it for swaps. I made 12 of these. And just this scratching, just this, I'll probably scratch my black mat now too. Oh well. All's fun and games when you're crafting, right? Don't forget, tonight is the last night to sign up for my Tractor and Company class. I showed you a sneak peek of a card at the beginning. There's been sneak peeks on the other stuff as well. I think we're done with this for the night, so we're going to put it away. Plug your ears. I'm going to run my little vacuum. I have an Amazon link for this if you are interested in this fun little desk vacuum. It is so awesome. My daughter-in-law and son, but it was my daughter-in-law that found it for me. All right, so then we're going to put some dimensionals back here. Put one there. All right, and then I am going to put, remember when I told you I used so many dimensionals? This was the one, this is the project. I used so many dimensionals, and I don't know where my dimensionals are. Oh, I used a bunch of them up, but here's a pack of littles. So I do 3 in the middle, up, and then I do 1 on each one of these little legs. It's kind of a sunburst. And then you have to take all these tops off. I may grab a take your pick tool for assistance on that. I'm not fast, but I can do it with it. Especially the narrow one. See? All right, you watch me do it. Now, should we try that hook end while we're looking at the extra attachments for our take your pick tool? All right, here's the hook end. All right, maybe I don't have the right technique for the hook end. Or maybe these are better because these are different ones because they were probably in a kit. That's why it's such a small piece. All right, now I feel like I've got 2 left hands with that one, so we're just doing our fingers. Now you get used to some tools and they're just like second nature, and other tools, it feels like you have something in the road of your progress. Are you with me still? Ooh, I've got more people. Be sure to say hello, like, comment, share. Especially like the videos, comment. Tell me what's up. I will be sending the template for this in my next email, which should go out tomorrow. I know I said that last night, but I sent out the reminder for the Tractor and Company class today instead. All right, that goes on like that. And I'm going to try to get these out of the road. And then we have all these pieces, and it's like a little puzzle to put them back in. They don't have to be perfect, but I've decided that if you do them, it makes it go faster. And the little dots are not going to line up because you emboss them differently. And yes, I did this with 12 different ones, and it all worked out fine. There we go. The last card's always a little bit more of a challenge with me. You know that. So this one, I think, goes there. And then this one looks like there. And if you don't want to put it together like this, that's totally fine. Just throw them in there. Okay, that one goes there. This one goes here. And this one goes here. Now you're probably thinking, why did you put it all back together like that? Two that weren't working. Oh, that didn't work. That did not work. You know what? It's fine. We're going to let it be the way it is. Oop, I just hit my camera. So yeah, it's kind of messy, but that's okay. So now we're going to flip them all over and we're going to use a glue dot because I'm too lazy to use anything else. Oops, I cannot use that end. That end is not my friend. This end is my bestie. All right, so we're going to put a glue dot on it and flip it over. Now on the edge, you're going to have to tuck it down in there enough to get it so that your card will still fit in the envelope, right? So, and I know I could just use, maybe I didn't use these. Maybe I used a glue dot, a dab of glue. So we'll do a dab of glue. I couldn't remember what I did. It's been a couple weeks, you know. These I flipped the other way around so that I had points going out on the center pieces. Again, make sure it goes in far enough so that you can, you know, get your card in an envelope. All right, we're going to take a couple more out. And yes, Sarah really did this. Okay, these ones down here does not matter. It's only the edge pieces that you have to make sure they'll fit in an envelope. All right. There we go. And no, I didn't have to put them all in there, but after doing it a couple times, it was easier for me to find out where they all fit and then place them back in there. Flipped over. Now this one, I'm not going to flip this way. I'm flipping it end to end. So backwards pizza goes in there. So it's got a point on these ends. But I make sure that it's there. Actually, it can come out a little bit because our circle is going to cover all that inside stuff. Okay. You know what? That did not get its little piece taken off. Boy, these are tough dimensionals. Not cooperating. All right, so we'll put a dollop there. And then this one in there. We're almost done. We have 3 left. We'll pull all 3 out. And we'll do dollop, dollop, dollop. A little dab will do ya. Now this one we flip around. And have the point out. This is just the way I did it. Check out Sarah's cards to see how she did it. Like I said, you can't have your bursts coming out too far because you still want it to fit in an envelope. And they don't have to be equal. And you can always trim them with the scissor, right? The pair of scissors. All right, there you go. Now, you thought this would take longer. Nope, it does not. It does not take longer at all. So now that okay, I'm going to take a couple blocks. I'm just going to put them on it. I'm going to take a bigger block though than that. I can't use this one. Here, we'll smash it down like this. There. Then maybe everybody will just stay where they're supposed to be. Okay, so we're back to, I did make another circle. I know, and they fit best, you know. And I have my Pretty in Pink ink in my strawberry slush. And I'm going to do the same thing I did before. Ink it up. I'm going to put it on here. Then I am going to flip it around. And my second generation, or my stamped off, is here, and it's very, very faint, but that's all right with me. Because Pretty in Pink isn't going to be that bright. So then I'm going to use Strawberry Slush for the words. And the words have disappeared. Oh, there they are. All right. And yes, I did cut this stamp in half if you're just joining me. But I like it better that way. There we go. Actually, we also need a piece of white scrap. And we're going to do Hope. Okay. Actually, as long as we have this out, we're just going to keep stamping for a minute. All right. Got those two. I'm going to grab my inside piece. And we're going to stamp. It goes this way. My stamp set. Friends don't let friends fight cancer alone. And we're going to use the ribbon. So friends don't let friends fight cancer alone. And this is the pink one for breast cancer. And this is why paper has two sides. Much better. Then I'm going to take this. We're going to grab the Pretty in Pink. And I'm actually going to stamp up. Oh no. I'm not going to stamp off. There we go. I could have done it in the middle too. I think on my ones for my, let me see. I've got a couple extras here, ran out of paper. It's one of those things that I had almost everything done, and then I had to, nope, they're on the side. Then I had to order paper and 2 days ship it. I know. Okay, let's build this baby. So this, of course, is going to go inside. So nothing fancy about that. We got to hide that little boo-boo. There we go. Now we have this. We're going to add this on here. And we're going to use a couple dimensionals. Just because of the poofiness and the uneven surface we're adding it to, I think the dimensionals work best. Excuse me. My stomach is saying it's time for supper. All right, let's make sure we get it just about right there. And then we're going to cut this out. Like I said, I have pieces left, so I'm not going to have you watch me cut that out. I will just, through the magic of television, look, I have a hope. And I'll cut that one out later when you guys aren't watching. I just cut around. It was nothing fancy by any means. But there's no sense in you watching me do that when I have one done. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take these off. It's these dimensionals. Like they were from a kit and they are just super tight with their super duper tight with their adhesive. Okay, I want this to kind of be centered, but I don't want to catch that dimensional behind there twice. So I don't want it to look like it's going uphill. And then we'll take some of the strawberry slush gems and finish this card. This is card number 3 from the Loving Courage. And like I said, this was my swap card, so if you're getting the swaps, sorry, I spoiled the surprise. I just couldn't wait. This had to be my first set that I did. Oops. I know I put one there. And there. Maybe that one's just happy there. No, we're going to leave it there. Okay. So there's card number 3. I hope none of you ever have to fight cancer. I hope you all go through life without it. But if you do, I hope you have some friends to support you. And if you know friends that need support, so the perfect stamp set to get and make some cards for them. If they get donations, there's a great thank you for supporting me through my battle. I like the thank you, so I did cut that apart too. As you can tell, it's now 2 stamps instead of 1. But let me show you my whole class. Here you go. Here is my Love and Courage class for tonight. There you go. Good night, Anna. Yeah, it's a tough topic, but I think we can support each other and make some beautiful cards to show people that we care. So I hope you do that. And remember, this stamp set donates money to the breast cancer research in whatever country you live in when you purchase it. So have a wonderful night. Go sign up for the tractor class. Let me show you my sneak peek one more time. Here is the sneak peek tractor. One of the cards for the Tractor and Company Mystery Craft Box. Go sign up. craftswithcheryl.com. The links are there. Registration closes tonight. Unless I forget to turn registration off, then tomorrow morning. Have a good night. Thanks.